Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Park or Yard Orioles podcast. It has been a very interesting week for the Baltimore Orioles. We split a series to the Nats, and then we split a series to the Red Sox. So I guess with the whole Olympics thing ending, the Orioles decided they wanted to do their own splits. I'm hilarious. Okay, so the first thing I want to discuss, um, obviously we're gonna try to go chronologically here. So we'll discuss the Nats series first. If you guys remember in my previous podcast, you will recall that I said that this should kind of be an ego series for the Orioles, right? This should be a team that we can just kind of beat up on, just hit the piss out of the ball, and come out of it against the Red Sox feeling like motivated, right? Not motivated isn't the right word, but like feeling good about ourselves, right? Um, so I had this as a sweep, as I'm sure most people did. But the first game of the series, Trevor Rogers gave up 5 earned runs. So Trevor Rogers has not been great since getting to the Orioles. If I go look at his games since joining the Orioles, last 5 games, he has had 3 starts for us, which it's not a huge sample size, right? We're not going to get a huge sample size out of him yet, but still, I mean, in his 3 starts for us, he has a 7 ERA, like a 4.7 FIP, so he's getting sort of unlucky, I guess. But I mean, a 4.78 FIP still isn't great. Is a 930 OPS against. So I'm not content with what I've seen out of Trevor Rogers recently. But I have enough confidence in his talent and his ability to kind of return to what he was in 2021 with the Marlins. But I don't know, man. We can't have a guy in our rotation who gives up that many earned runs and it's not like he's eating innings that much or anything. So yeah, not great stuff out of Trevor Rogers. I don't know what Brian Baker is doing at the major league level. I've always hated Brian Baker. He's been with us for a bit now. I thought he got DFA'd. I guess nobody wanted him because he's back here, and I don't like it. He gave up 2 earned this series. Or not this series, this game. Gregory Soto, actually did not pitch that terribly, which, I love to see. He's still kind of wild thing, didn't walk anybody, but I mean, if we go and look at his pitch charts, I'm sure that actually, you know what? He filled the zone in this game. All right, I stand corrected. I don't do my research before I sit in here and record this episode. I just kind of talk, man. But no, he threw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He threw 8 pitches, and he threw 7 for strikes. That's great. That's awesome. I love to see that. They all have nice pitch path. I love, like, I've said this before. Gregory Soto is kind of in the same boat as Trevor Rogers, in the sense that he has all the talent in the world. He has a huge arm. If he can control his stuff like that, I think that's a regular thing we can see out of Gregory Soto for sure. He's at his best, he's borderline untouchable. Like, truly. Like, if he locates that sinker, there are not a lot of players in the league who would come even close to that, honestly. It's a statistically great pitch. So, yeah, we gave up 9 to the Nationals. So, other than Soto, our pitching wasn't great. Keegan Aiken gave up 2 earned, but I expect nothing less. I'm not even going to talk about Keegan Aiken. It's blasphemy that he is still on this team. The offense, runs wise, struggled. We hit the ball pretty hard for the most part. We had the top 4 highest exit velos of the game, but it appears that the Nationals seem to hit the ball harder more often. They had a 45.2 hard hit percentage, we had a 34.3. We had a higher expected batting average, which is worth something, but when you hit the ball almost 50% of the time, you're most likely going to win. So, I mean, Tony Taters hit another tater, because that's what Tony Taters does. He hits taters. So that's a bright spot, but there's not a lot to talk about in this game. Oh, yes, there is. James Wood is an absolute freak. I've been meaning to say this. James Wood is what Elly De La Cruz wants to be. That's barely an exaggeration. If I look at, there's baseball savant pages side by side, there's not a lot of difference, guys. There really isn't. The only thing is that Elly De La Cruz is probably faster, but James Wood clocked like a 31.3 feet per second run to first. That's freakish. That's freakish. Like, truly. He had a 4-hit game against us in this game. I mean, watching him play is truly fun. Like honestly, it's a lot of fun. He had all 4 of his hits were hard hit. It's not like he was getting any doinky singles or anything like that. Like he crushes the ball, and he can lock it down out there in the outfield too. So that's something I wanted to say. James Wood is fun to watch. So now we go to the second game of this Nat series, which we saw Austin Slater lead off again, which I'm never opposed to, just to kind of give Holton either a day off or bat him a little lower on the lineup, depending on the matchup, which DJ Hertz, who is the Nat starter, is a lefty, so that sort of makes sense. He pitched fine, and I don't really care enough to talk about the other starting pitcher. Dean Kramer pitched very, very well. I liked what I saw out of Dean Kramer. Not a ton of swings and misses, but he didn't really need them. He got a lot of weak contact. The Nats did not hit the ball very hard this game. And we saw, if you listened to the last episode of this podcast, you'll know that when I previewed this series, I wanted to see a little more power out of Gunnar Henderson. Prior to this series, he had like a 390 slugging percentage since the All-Star break. And he hit a home run in this game. And that's the start of things to come as we continuously go along in these games. So like I said, yeah, Dean Kramer pitched really, really well. Yenier Cano did Yenier Cano things, got ground balls. CNL Perez, again, did CNL Perez things. He's very, very, very average. That's what I say about CNL Perez. And then Sir Anthony Dominguez let up a home run, and then, he didn't let up a home run. Well, that's getting cut out. And then Sir Anthony Dominguez did what Sir Anthony Dominguez does. He walked a guy, and then he struck out a guy and got the save. So, like I said, Sir Anthony Dominguez is great. I think he is our closer for the rest of the season, if it's up to me, because fuck Craig Kimbrell, as we know. Fuck Craig Kimbrell. Yeah, this was a fairly unexciting game, if you ask me. Not a lot happened. Kobe Mayo got his first major league hit. Love to see that. Also worked a walk. So, but what was interesting, he got sent down directly after the game. So, I'm on record saying that I would have preferred to see Kobe Mayo stay up just to get him the experience. But apparently the front office felt otherwise, which I can't necessarily blame them for. Maybe they just kind of wanted to get him his first hit and then send him back down to maybe rework some stuff, which I'm not necessarily opposed to. I get it, but I would have liked to see him build more chemistry around the team and kind of stay up here for a bit. But it is what it is. Eloy had his first bad game for us, really. He went 0 for 4. He struck out twice, but it is what it is. Jackson Holiday got a solid hit up the middle to, I think, tie the game or give us the lead. 103.7 or 104.1. I was looking at Rhino Hearn. Which Rhino Hearn, I mean, has an argument for the best pinch hitter in the league, if you ask me, but people aren't ready for that conversation. Ew. Anyway, all right, now we are entering the Red Sox series. So we won this game 5-1. Zach Eflin, another outstanding start from him. Got 12 whiffs, which I'll speak this until the day I die. I love pitchers who get swings and misses. It's if you guys listen to my most recent episode of my other podcast, the Play at the Plate podcast, new episode just dropped, you guys will know that I hate the term pitch to contact. Pitch to contact is just a phrase that is geared towards a specific kind of pitcher. It's geared towards the pitcher that pitches a certain way. All pitchers pitch to miss the barrel of the bat, right? Now, how much they miss the barrel of the bat is kind of at the pitcher's discretion, right? Some pitchers can miss the barrel by having hitters hit it off the end of the bat or hit it off the handle of the bat. But those can still result in hits. When pitchers don't hit any part of the bat, they can never get hits like that. Aren't I smart? So that's why I like swings and misses so much. That's why I feel like the more swings and misses you get, the better pitcher you are, which might be a hot take. I'm not really sure. But Zach Eflin gets swings and misses. Most definitely. We saw Gregory Soto in this game again. Only got an out. I'm assuming it was probably a matchup thing, I guess, because he struck his only batter out. I still don't know who Birch Smith is, so we're going to kind of gloss over that. CNL Perez did CNL Perez things, and Yennier Cano closed it out. We saw Gunnar hit another home run this series, which I love to see. That's what I need to see out of Gunnar Henderson. He's starting to find his power stroke again. Mentioned it earlier. That's great. It's great. I love to see it. Other than that, it was another kind of boring, well-pitched game, quite frankly. Cedric hit a home run, so we got a spurt of offense out of somebody else, which is great. Yeah, that's sort of it. We again had the top 4 hardest hit balls, which, I mean, it's kind of been a theme with our team, which I love to see. Something I do want to, I'm not sure how this works. I'm not sure. I guess I need to know where he hit it. Colton Cowser had an 108 mile an hour hit that went 406 feet, and it did not leave the building. Interesting. He probably hit it opposite way, but still. Anywho's, let's move on. So now we have a more exciting game. we lost the next game of the Red Sox series 12-10. And it came down to the wire for sure. What I would like to talk about first and foremost, Corbin Burnes gave up 8 earned runs in this game. He walked 3 guys, which is it's definitely not stereotypical of him. He just kind of danced around the zone too much. He kind of got too cute, and he made some misses that ultimately he kind of paid the price for. So this is definitely his worst start of the season. I'm not worried, but it was a little concerning to see him sort of blow up like that. But it's definitely, every pitcher kind of has that one blow up start, right? So I'm hoping this is the last one. It probably is the last one, but all I can do is pray for that right now. So yeah, there's nothing to be alarmed about in any sort of way. He's still got his swings and misses. He almost got as many as Zach Eflin did as his start. So like I said, I'll always love Corbin Burnes and what he can do with the baseball. It's wonderful to watch, and his success is always going to be kind of sustainable. But considering the score, there's definitely a lot more offensive things to talk about. Because I refuse to talk about Craig Kimbrell. He gave up a home run to Jarren Duran, who says slurs like in front of people. So, it's I don't even want to get into it. I'm gonna get too upset. Other than that hiccup, by the way, Jarren Duran, great story. I want to make that known. Or the offenses of both teams just sort of blew up. So the opener for the Red Sox was Bernardino. Apologies. He didn't last an inning. He struck out 2 guys. I'm not sure really what his deal is. I think he might be a reliever. Please. It seems like he's a starter. I'm wondering if there was an injury thing there that I just kind of missed. So it turned into a bullpen game for the Red Sox. Cooper Criswell was the victim of the blow-up start. Gave up 6 earned with 4 walks. Courtesy of Jackson Holliday with a 4-hit game, including his first major league triple, which I didn't mention this on Play at the Plate yesterday evening, but all 3 rookie Jacksons hit a triple on August 16th. I thought that was very, very impressive. Jackson Chourio, Jackson Merrill, and Jackson Holliday all hit triples. Try and find another time that's ever happened. Okay, so other than that, we had a lot of hard hit balls out of Ryan Mountcastle. 2 for 6. We had Eloy Jimenez find a little bit of elevation, which I love to see. Ramon Urias was a very, very big run producer for us this game. He had 5 RBIs, went 3 for 3. Love to see that out of Urias, especially with Westberg still on the IL. McCann went 2 for 4. The offense was very, very solid, but like I said, I really don't feel like talking about Craig Kimbrell again because it's kind of his fault. Unfortunately, it's kind of his fault. Ironically, Brian Baker pitched very, very fine in this game. He had an inning, he had a strikeout, walked somebody, but who cares? So yeah, I keep wanting to talk about Corbin Burnes more because I understand that people might worry about this, and I'm trying to persuade them not to. It's not a huge deal. Everybody has their blow up start. Even Pedro Martinez, 1999, that crazy year. He had a blow up start at around this time, I believe. Maybe it was in September, but there's absolutely no reason to worry about Corbin Burnes. We ran across the Red Sox at a really bad time. They're playing pretty damn good baseball right now, but it appears, from what I'm looking at here, so are the Orioles. So as long as we keep hitting like this, or at least if we can keep the momentum of this game going, which obviously we kind of didn't, but in this next game, we only scored one run. Oh my god, I can't fucking talk. Holy shit. I don't even know how I want to start that. Here's where I'm going to start that. So, I keep finding myself talking, like, wanting to talk about Corbin Burnes because I want to tell everybody, like, I want to keep telling people to, like, settle down if you're worried about Corbin Burnes. There's nothing to worry about. We came across the Red Sox at a pretty damn bad time. So it's not the end of the world. Corbin Burnes will be fine. The Orioles will be fine. The Red Sox are just playing really damn good baseball right now. But yeah, I think I'm done with this game. It was a thriller. We were in it till the very end. Got some pretty all right at bats against their bullpen, except Kenley Jansen, because of course we didn't. But yeah, I'm done with this game. It was a thriller to watch for sure. So, well, unlike Thursday's game, which I would not consider a thriller, I would consider it a fat, huge piece of garbage, because we lost this game 5-1. We had Cade Povich start this game, which I didn't even know Cade Povich was back up. He pitched pretty well, 2 earned, 6 Ks, got 15 whiffs. I love to see that, or not 15 whiffs, 15 swings and misses, because I believe those were tracked differently. 15 swings and misses, obviously love to see that. Red Sox didn't exactly hit the ball particularly hard. Not better than they really have. It's probably their lowest hard hit percentage this series, 12.5%. But had a higher expected batting average than we did. And the story of this game is definitely the offense. Brayan Bello pitched very, very, very well. If I look at his pitch 3D and go to Brayan Bello, his pitch spread, I mean, he threw the ball where he wanted it. He never really missed by a lot. All of his misses had intent. Watching this game, he tunneled his pitches pretty all right. And the Orioles just didn't really have an answer. Our lone run from this game was a Gunnar Henderson home run, which I'll say it again, I love to see. I love to see Gunnar hitting the ball out of the park. It's his recipe for success. His slugging percentage was way, way down, but now that he's finding that power stroke after the All-Star game again, I'm very excited to see how he can finish his season. But, I mean, other than that, we had a hard hit ball out of Ryan O'Hearn, Colton Cowser, and Eloy Jimenez. And, I mean, only one of those turned into hits, and it was Ryan O'Hearn. So, yeah, it just wasn't our day offensively. The Red Sox didn't hit, like I said, they didn't hit particularly well. I mean, 2 were earned, and then I'll say it again. Who the hell is Birch Smith? I still don't know who Birch Smith is. He gave up 2 earned, so I don't know what he's still doing here. Like, I don't know if I'm missing something. Like, is he like a big guy, like a big prospect that I'm not? I mean, he pitched in the big leagues before us. He has 6 seasons in the big leagues. Never fucking heard of him. So, I want Birch Smith off my team just because I don't know who he is. And then Gregory Soto, again, pitched very, very well. He gave up a walk, he struck somebody out, and he didn't give up any hits or runs. So if we can keep Gregory Soto pitching like this, I mean, let's go watch or look at his pitch 3D. If we can keep Gregory Soto not missing by a ton, or if he is missing by a ton with intent, I love the potential ceiling for Gregory Soto. He threw his sinker a lot more than he did in his previous appearance, which I like to see. Because that, like I said, that sinker is his bread and butter. If nobody can touch that, nobody can touch him, as far as I'm concerned. The slider could use a little control work, but I mean, so could all of his pitches. So, love what I saw out of Gregory Soto. Hated what I saw out of Birch Smith, and Yennier Cano was Yennier Cano. So that's that for our bullpen. I think I discussed everything I really wanted to during this game. Oh, Rafael Devers is a pain in the ass. I don't know if we've noticed that yet, but Rafael Devers destroys the Orioles. I don't know if I can find those stats somewhere. Rafael Devers stats against the Orioles. I mean, just purely by the eye test, I can kind of infer that they're going to be absolutely crazy. But I want to find them just in case. Here we go, Stat Muse. Rafael Devers is hitting .290 with 128 hits, 20 home runs, and 73 RBIs in 110 games versus the Orioles. So, the eye test was correct. Not Jarren Duran. Rafael Devers kind of tortures us, but he also kind of tortures the entire league. I mean, he might be in contention for like one of the more underrated players in baseball. I get he has stone hands at third, but I mean, he hits the ball so well. I mean, whether or not it'll project well, I have no idea. Outside of the games against the O's, I haven't watched him much, so I don't know if he has like a flaw that is gonna like hold him back by anything. As long as he stays consistent and keeps hitting the ball hard, and I don't see a world where he'll all of a sudden just kind of lose it. So that's this game. Rafael Devers, pain in the ass. It wasn't. The offense is what killed us this game. So I don't care to talk about that much more because we won today. Or tonight, I guess, because this isn't gonna come out for a while. But we won 4-2. Albert Suarez for Cy Young. That's what I have to say. Albert Suarez for Cy Young. 16 swings and misses, no earned runs, not a lot of hard hits. He pitched beautifully. Beautifully. I loved what he did in this game. And this is 3 or 4 starts in a row now where Albert Suarez has been filthy. We saw it at the beginning of the year. We didn't know how sustainable it was. Guess what? It's sustainable. 36-year-old Albert Suarez, who hasn't been in the league since 2017, is all of a sudden just absolutely filthy. So, yeah, loved what I saw out of Albert Suarez. The only runs we gave up, CNL Perez gave up an earned run, which, I mean, again, kind of happens. I don't, like, every once in a while, he'll just give up 2 cockshot doubles, and it turns into an earned run, and then he'll get out of it. So, I'm not too concerned with CNL Perez. Sir Anthony Dominguez gave up a home run. But I think in the 9th inning to close it out, I think he got like 3 straight strikeouts, if I'm not mistaken. I can check. Seranthony Dominguez. Let's see. No, wait. Let me check. No. So it was, he gave up the home run in the ninth inning. So there's that. But, still, he pitched great. He's still got a big arm. He closed out the game. I'm not ever going to be concerned about Seranthony Dominguez unless he starts turning into Wild Thing Part 2 again. Because Wild Thing Part 1 is Gregory Soto. But, yeah, offense still wasn't amazing. We had a lower hard hit percentage than the Red Sox in this game. But Gunnar Henderson hit another home run. So I'm like, he's going to turn into this power-hungry beast again. And it's going to be so fun to watch. Like, I truly cannot wait to watch him the rest of the season. Like I said in the last episode, that Gunnar Henderson needs to find his power stroke. And before these two series against the Nats and the Red Sox, I can pull this up real quick. Let's go to game logs. And let's go to the All-Star break. So from July 19th to August 11th, he had a 421 slugging percentage. It's not great. It's not great. He had a 307 average, so it looked like he kind of was gearing his focus to hitting for less power, I guess, and hitting for more contact, which I don't really understand why. But since that last since August 11th, August 13th through August 17th, he has a 700 slugging percentage with a 250 average. So it looks like he's going back to sacrificing the average for slugging again, which I'm not opposed to. Like, we've seen people have success with it in the past. So Gunnar Henderson is obviously the heart and soul of this team, I would say. We saw Adley Rutschman hit a home run in this game. Jackson, he went 0 for 3 again, but we're okay with this. He had the 4-hit game. He can relax. He can chill. But yeah, I mean, the offense still wasn't fantastic outside of Gunnar and Adley. But if we can get those two to click at the same time, along with Tony Taters, who didn't play in this game, but if we can get those two to click at the same time, or those three to click at the same time, rather, I think this team is going to become more of a force to be reckoned with than it already is. And I can't wait. So kind of to round it up, we split both of the series that we had in this time period. I'm not happy about it. I still think we should have swept the Nationals. Some of the Red Sox games that we lost were winnable, but I'm not mad at what I saw out of the Orioles in these past two series. Now, what we have to do is preview what we're going to see in the upcoming Mets series. So, I believe the first starter for us in this 3-game up in New York will be Trevor Rogers, which hopefully I can see something more out of him. I'd love to get him clicking and get him in stride. I think that'll round up our team very well, or round up our pitching staff very well. We're against David Peterson. To my knowledge, he's not doing anything crazy this year. I think he's like solid for the Mets right now. 3.4 ER or 3.04 ERA, but a 4.38 WHIP, 1.4 WHIP. David Peterson seems to be a very beatable pitcher. I closed out of Baseball Reference again. I don't know why I keep doing that. Like, I need to have Baseball Reference up. Winnable game, obviously. Trevor Rogers needs to step it up, most definitely. But yeah, I'm very confident in what we can do against David Peterson. Second game of this Mets series, we have Dean Kramer against Jose Quintana, who I believe was the opening day starter for the Mets. I want to see Dean Kramer continue what he's been doing. Maybe keep that momentum going from his last start. This year for the Mets, Jose Quintana, 4.2 ERA, 1.3 WHIP. So, again, another winnable game. I just closed out a Baseball Reference again. What am I doing? Let's open that back up again, because I still need it up. Great. All right. The Mets offense, I feel like has the potential to see Kramer very well for some reason. I just have that like weird gut feeling. But I mean, if he can keep that splitter changeup thing low, I feel like he'll be fine. But it's that worries me. Definitely worries me, because he has a tendency to miss high, and when you miss high with an off-speed pitch like a splitter, it tends to get hit very hard. So if Kramer can keep it low, I think we can keep the Mets at bay. Third game of this series on Wednesday is Eflin against Manaea. Manaea had a very, very solid stretch of pitching there. He went 2 games scoreless, if I'm not mistaken, against St. Louis and Minnesota. Yep. He's very, very fine for the Mets. 3.83 WHIP, or not WHIP, 3.83 FIP, 1.2 WHIP, 3.46 ERA. So, we have the righties to beat him, I think. It's not... again, the downfall of the Mets is going to be their pitching, because I don't think any of these guys are, like, unbeatable guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these guys have the potential to just fall off a cliff one day and never be able to climb back up. So, I expect to see Eflin continue his success. I don't see a reason that he would fall off. Again, if he... I get a little worried about the off-speed stuff that can miss high, but Eflin has definitely been much better than that than Kramer has, so I'm not worried about it. I can see us taking 2 out of 3 in this series very easily. I sort of expect us to take 2 out of 3 of this series very easily. But I'm interested to see how it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to this episode of the Parker Yard Podcast. And I will see you guys at the end of the next Mets series. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all of that stuff. You can listen on a bunch of different audio platforms: Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon. So you can, if you want to listen in audio form, that's the place to do it. I have a TikTok for both of my podcasts. You can just look up Parker Yard on TikTok or Play at the Plate on TikTok, and my accounts will come up. So if you guys want to take a look at the clips that I post over there, that'd be greatly appreciated. And like I said, I will see you guys at the end of this next Met series.